One of the hardest problems that we have is zero versus missing values, right? So I have this payment, right, that gets in, and now I'm getting some data that is missing the from. And if I'm going to run it, this is actually going to be fine, right? So it passes, we get the time, we get the from, and we get the amount. The time is missing, right? There's no time here on there's from to an amount. So the time is going to be the zero value for the time, which is January 1st, 1 in UTC. That's a zero value for time. Okay. So the problem is now when I'm getting a message and something is empty, is it empty because they didn't send it over the wire, or is it empty because they actually send me the zero value? In practice, a lot of time, you don't really care about this question. In the Go proverbs, there is one of the proverbs is make the zero value useful. So if the zero value is something valid, it is okay. You don't have to wrestle with this question. This is fine. But if you do need to distinguish between the two, you have several options. One of the options is using pointers, right? So now the time is a pointer to a time. And now when I'm going to run it, I'm going to see nil time. This means that nobody sent me a time because now I know it's not coming in. But now I'm going to pay a price because time is a pointer. If I'm going to call dot format or dot year or anything on this time, I'm going to get a panic. So again, it is a way to do it. I personally don't love it, and I try to use other methods. Or, as I said, mostly try to get to a point where I really don't care about this question. This is the best way. Another option is to get an external library called mapstructure. And mapstructure is a library for decoding a generic map values to structure. So it works like the JSON, but instead of working with byte slices, it works with map of string to interface. And when you work with map structure, you do this serialization 2 times, right? So the first thing, I'm going to define a map between string to the empty interface, and then use the JSON Marshal. Now in the map, I have the keys. Now I can know which keys actually exist in the map and which are not. The second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a payment, and then I call mapstructure to decode this map into my structure. And now I can go say, okay, if the key time is missing from the map, I can set the time to the current time, for example. Okay, so map structure is something that you can use. It will cost you another serialization, another deserialization on marshalling, because you do it once from the JSON to the map, and second from the map to the struct. And it's again an external package that you need to use, so another dependency with all the baggage dependencies bring with them, but it is a viable option. I'm going to say that in some serialization formats, this is not even possible to do. In protocol buffers, you have 0 ways of knowing if something actually came over the wire or not. And this is by design. It's not going to change. So the fact that you can do it here, this is nice. The question is better to use SQL null time. I haven't tried it. I don't know if null time, SQL null time has serialization, JSON serialization in the same format as the time. This is an interesting question, worth looking into, maybe. But this is again a serialization problem, right? In SQL, we have timestamps, but they can be null. So the SQL package actually have a specific type, which is called the null time, which is a time that can be null. So again, this is coming exactly from serialization issues. And the one that I'm using mostly is actually with defaults. And this is the fact that if there is a value that is missing from the JSON, the Go encoding JSON is not going to change it. So I'm going to create a payment with the time initialized to the current time. And now I'm going to use the unmarshal. So now if there is a time that's coming from the JSON, it's going to override my time. And if not, it is going to stay the time that I want to do it. And this is the method I usually use in this zero versus missing bytes.